here we have up at the top, we've got some of the general settings. So is your default currency going to be US dollars? Okay. Weight unit grams, you can go to ounces in the US way if you want. Probably not relevant for you because you're not shipping stuff. Name display option, first name, last name, that's standard. Default language, English, standard. Show pricing including tax for Canada and the US, that would be a no. Show invoice logo, this means that once we've set up your system, we actually take your logo so it shows on the invoice instead of just having a text-based thing, so that's fine. Quote of the day, when they log into their members lounge, there's a quote. Basically every day a new quote is set up. There's a database of 12,000 motivational quotes. Display INS footer, you'll notice at the bottom of the page it says powered by INS MLM software. If you don't like that, you set this to no, it goes away. It's usually a good idea to have it displayed because it'll build belief in your leaders that you have a proper platform that won't let them down. Auto approve translation, this just means that you're going to trust your translators so that when you do get guys in changing the system to French or Spanish or whatever you decide to translate to, you're not going to have it go through an approval process. So the system has the ability for translation to happen in real time or forced to the approval of a senior translator before it goes live to the site. So if you turn this to no, anything that a translator translates will not go live to the site. It'll wait for a senior translator to approve. Default handle for no handle prospects. This is set to corp. It should be set to nothing. This is what happens when someone comes to the site without a username. So if they just come to .com and click join, by filling this box into corp, it means that they will automatically be joining under the user corp. If you leave this box blank, it's going to immediately say who sent you here. So it's in a normal MLM environment, it's critical to not let somebody join unless they're on a replicated site, because it might have been me referring to them and they typed in something wrong and ended up being bounced to the corporate site. And if they can sign up, then they end up effectively not signed up under me, and I am definitely going to raise a problem with the company over that. So in a normal MLM environment, we would leave this blank so that it forces who sent you here link basically to come up so that they can put in their sponsor. From a networker's point of view, if I see the ability to have somebody join from the root site, it makes me very nervous as a networker because it means my organization can fall apart. So it's a bit of a corporate decision, but my recommendation would be that this is not filled in. So what you're fighting with all the time is someone coming from Google. First of all, when you're an affiliate program, nobody comes from Google because Google will not rank your site. So having the concern that, oh my goodness, a whole bunch of people will find us and won't be able to join, it's not actually a concern because Google will index your homepage only. Default page UID, this is just a simple way that you can have the actual website that everybody comes to change easily without losing track of stuff. So you guys could go and make a, like Google makes a Christmas theme and a Halloween theme and all this kind of stuff for Google. You could do that type of stuff, and then all you do is you say, okay, change the default page UID to whatever custom page you've created. So if you've created custom page 50420, you just put 50420 in here, and now when they come to the site, that's the page they see instead of page 1000. So it just allows you to easily capture a whole bunch of different pages without losing them each time, and very easily be able to flip back and forth between them as far as your home page. Gift certificate fee, I recommend this to be $1. This is, again, when a member decides to take some of their earnings and send it to another person who would like to join and become a member. So it's like a cash certificate that they send out. So charging $1 for it is good. Changed anytime, so if you guys decide, hey, let's just upgrade to distributor and customer account, we recommend that typically if a guy decides to be a customer, he's made that decision. So pestering him to upgrade doesn't always sort of earn you friends. So we recommend that you leave the upgrade to customer to no. A lot of people think that, oh, if we put an upgrade button, then all of our customers will just can't help themselves but become members. The opposite's usually true. The minute a customer gets pressure from the upline to become a member, usually they just quit being a customer too. So we recommend no, but again, it's there as a switch, you can do it. Product item code to upgrade, if you set that to yes, you can put in the item code in the shopping cart, which means when they click the link, it'll automatically take them to the shopping cart and make them purchase the appropriate item to create the upgrade. Compression number of days, we should look at this. So we need to be running a compression. So this is basically saying how long Does it have to be that they don't purchase before you actually take them out of the matrix so they're not making a mess for someone else? We recommend typically 60 to 90 days. Then compression type. So this is basically saying, okay, what kind of compression do you want to use? We recommend the top one, which is number of personally sponsored. So in other words, when a guy who had 5 guys under him is about to be compressed, we need to decide in the system what's going to happen. So normally what happens is a guy who has 5 guys under him gets compressed, he disappears, and one of his 5 guys will move up and inherit the other 4 guys. Okay? So a lot of companies in the old days would say, well, whoever signed up first moves up. We've actually found that to be a really bad strategy, because the guy who signed up first might be just a guy that was interested in being a customer. So now he inherits 4 guys, but he doesn't know how to support them. So we recommend that you do by number of personally sponsored. So it basically says, okay, of the 5 guys, who sponsored the most people? Move him up. Because if he sponsored a bunch of people, obviously he can handle supporting some more people. Okay? So we recommend that you use the personally sponsored. Send compression warning in 13 and 14 days prior. This is a tough one. So basically you can turn the system on to say that before a guy gets compressed, you're going to send him an email to say, hey buddy, you're about to get done if you don't make a purchase. And remind him of that. In a lot of cases, when you remind a guy who hasn't purchased that he's about to be compressed, it just makes him quit faster. So it's, sometimes it's more offensive than not offensive. Sign up minimum amount required. So we can set the shopping cart to force the order to be at least a value before they can carry on. So in other words, they can't sign up for 0. You can set up a minimum amount that has to be in the shopping cart for them to complete the sign up. So basically, if a guy comes to your site and clicks the join button, the first thing we're going to do is ask him for what his username is. Then we're going to ask him all of his personal details and address and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to say, what product do you want to purchase? And if they pick nothing and try to complete the sign up, the system will let them unless you set this to a value. It is illegal to force a product purchase to join, but being illegal, lots of MLM companies still do it. I'm just giving you the advice of what's legal and what's illegal. So with not having a sign up fee and allowing them to sign up for free and then forcing them to buy a product, that definitely can get you into hot water. So in this case here, usually you'd be putting the amount of your sign up fee in here. So skip shopping cart. So if you were doing a free sign up, you can click a button here which allows it to skip the shopping cart entirely. Is social security number mandatory on sign up? Even with this set to no, please understand that in the US, it will still force the social security number. And that's just because it's a law. So if you want us to actually disconnect the social security number for a US sign up, we can, but we have to do it back end. So setting this to no just means that in every other country it won't force it, but in the US it will still force it. Okay, auto ship delivery date, don't worry about that. Cooling off period, leave that as it is. Change handle via members. So this is where you say, do you allow them to change their username in their members lounge or not? We recommend no. And the reason we recommend no is if you allow them to change it in their members lounge, and that'll actually drive support nuts. Because they'll get used to who's who in the zoo by way of the username. So we don't recommend changing the username from the members lounge. It's up to you, but we don't recommend it. Free OMSIS trial package item code. If you are putting the OMSIS marketing system in place, you can actually give a free trial of it. This is where you'd put the item code you've set up for that to have it automatically triggered for everybody who joins. OMSIS is a full-blown sifting and sorting marketing system. So you guys could have your members paying you $25 a month into an ad co-op. You then take that money in the ad co-op and place advertising would go into a list rotation. So instead of having your site do that work, there's actually a special place where you have a page that tells them what you're going to do, audio, video type presentation done to them for a minute or two. Then it goes to a form collection page where it collects all their name, address, phone number, and that type of stuff. Allows you to do a short survey, and then takes them to a final page where you finally tell them who you are. So what it does is it allows you to have a prospecting method before the main website. So you're getting them into the prospecting method for free, okay? So you're getting that little yes before you go after the money yes. So we can show you how that all fits together. It's a very dynamic system. Normally an MLM takes all that $25, amalgamates it, places ads on the internet or ads in print publications to generate traffic. Turn product download on, yes, because obviously you're selling MP3s and such, so we have to have the ability to download them. Force placement to handle, we leave that blank. Product view, this is actually controlling the shopping cart view, so how you want the actual shopping cart to look. Once we get some of your products in, then we should start looking at which view is the best for you. In the beginning, if it's just memberships and credits, it doesn't matter. Next one is rollback unfinancial sign up. Rollback unfinancial sign up means if they get all the way to the end and their card expires and they don't do anything about it, the sign up will actually get rolled back. It'll get taken out as if it never happened. We recommend this because, again, in a matrix, you don't want all the garbage left. So the only garbage that'll be left if you set roll unfinancial sign up back are the people who abandoned the sign up instead of got to the end and found their credit cards failed. Okay. Show customer sign up and distributor sign up. Again, these are some settings that allow, if they go in through the product order step, they get the ability to change their mind to become a distributor, and from distributor they can change their mind to become a customer. Set system to force receipt of physical application form. This is more of a Japanese thing, or we've got a couple of insurance-based companies where they have to have a piece of paper to actually proceed. You can flick a button that now actually, until the paper is confirmed received, nothing can happen in the system basically. So not relevant to you in those. Unfinancial login. So again, here we're tying it all together. Remember, we had the if you're going to allow them to log in when they're unfinancial or not, as well as the rolling back. We recommend unfinancial login is set to no. So this means if they fail in paying, they're not a part of the thing. They can't get into their members lounge. They're just out. And that'll cause them to really want to figure out a way to get paid. If you let them in without paying, you're just going to end up triggering a ton of sign-ups of people who just want to look and see. Not worth the hit to the server, in my opinion. Minimum user level to display dashboard. You'll notice when you log in on the admin, you get this dashboard that tells you what your sales are, what your sign-ups are. You can actually determine what level you want that to show up for your admin users. So we always figure that that type of information is something you only want the high-level people to have, so we set it to senior admin, but you can make it lower if you want. And then the rest of this is all just currency, so that's all fine for the currencies. The very bottom one is the timeout setting, which is currently set to 10 minutes. And actually 2 hours is usually more appropriate. But because in admin, I mean, you can be involved in a distributor problem that takes a couple of hours, or you can get distracted by a phone call, and if you'd sort of gone most of the way through something and you come back after an hour-long phone call and you hit submit and it logs you out, it can be